We'll be giving you the best of information this afternoon as regards what is happening, what happened yesterday, what is happening today, and what will happen tomorrow, what will be taking place in our dear beloved country tomorrow. Okay? So, welcome to Matters on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude, and I do this, like I said, every weekday, from Monday to Friday, 1 up until 3 p.m., like every weekday. All right. This beautiful afternoon, I have the pleasure of having a social affairs commentator joining me from Akure, the Ondo State capital. He is Henry Olonimoyo. Let's have him join us now. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Henry.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jude.
Good.
Nice to be on your program again.
You're always welcome. Always my pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. Also mine.
Yes, thank you so very much. All right. For those watching us live, feel free to also get to the comment section and let's have a beautiful conversation all together this afternoon. Okay. We're streaming live on YouTube. Okay. So get to YouTube and watch us live and then drop your comment. I like it so much when you drop your comment. Okay. Not just come there and just watch. Please do drop your own comments and let's have a robust conversation all together. Okay, that is VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube. Wherever you are in the world, you can watch us. Okay, yeah, thank you so very much. And of course, our WhatsApp number is also open. You can send in your comments, your messages. Okay, that is at 0700 903 903 903. Again, 0700 903 903 9. I beg your pardon. 0700 903 9039. Okay. Yeah. But then if you want to now call in later, much more later, 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. Okay. I hope you don't get to miss that. Okay. Thank you so very much. Mr. Henry Olonimoyo, let's start by, addressing or talking about the big day tomorrow. The big day. You're smiling, right? That's just the truth. Of course, barring any last minute change, the presidential petition or the presidential tribunal sitting in Abuja is of course expected to deliver judgment tomorrow, this September the 6th, 2023. There has been these September the 16th date that's been going around all this while, and now it's gonna be tomorrow. It looks like one movie name for me, Judgment Day in Nigeria. What are your feelings though? Let's hear from you. What are your feelings?
Yes, on a lighter note, people have been calling it the Judgment Day, and it's sounding more like the biblical Judgment Day that Christians expect. So, but at least now we have a date, we have a time. We have always been saying that. I remember the last time I was on your show, we were speculating about what the likely date or time will be.
Of course.
Whether it will not exceed the constitutional provisions for such judgment to be delivered. But thankfully, we have gotten a date with a 48-hour notice. It was the news was broke out yesterday morning, and so we have a date now, and it's a good one. And we have also been informed that it will be televised live. And if you also remember some months back when we were talking about why they didn't allow the proceedings to be televised.
Yeah.
Because now that you allow the judgment to be televised, why shouldn't you allow the entire process to be televised? But nonetheless, we are glad we now have a date. But again, I will sue for peace. I ask all parties involved to stand for peace. Our laws are very clear. After the appeal court, there is still a Supreme Court for aggrieved parties to air their grievances. Whichever way the judgment or the verdict swings to, all aggrieved parties must resort exhaust all legal options, and there's still a Supreme Court option waiting for aggrieved parties. But again, I also
Hello?
for them, I also want to believe that this will not be another judgment that will be, so to say, dominated more on technicalities, but rather more on what is justice, the matter of justice, the fact of justice. And I want to believe that if justice is delivered, peace is a natural consequence for justice. And I believe that justice will be delivered. So fingers crossed for what happens tomorrow.
You mentioned Supreme Court. Must we get to the Supreme Court? I hear people mention Supreme Court. People they should all relax. This should happen. Don't worry. There's still the Supreme Court. You can go to Supreme Court and do that. Must we go to the Supreme Court?
It's not a question of must we go to the Supreme Court. The democracy allows you to air your grievances, and for anybody who will be aggrieved, it is important for him or her to know, or for those parties to know, that they still have the option of a Supreme Court. It's not a matter of must we. The question is, do you have an option to go? So whether you choose to explore that option or you don't, or you choose not to explore that option, the decision is yours. At least the former President Goodluck Jonathan, when he was ousted out of office by the post in 2015, he refused to pursue the case in the presidential electoral petition tribunal. He didn't, and so it was his choice not to even pursue it at all. So if there's anybody who still intends to go to the level of Supreme Court, fine, let us go there. So, but I want to believe that the justices would be fair. There have been rumors.
You want to believe that they will be fair?
Yes, you see, there are rumors here and there. There are people saying a lot of things, but they still remain rumors. They still remain side talks. They are not verified facts until we eventually see them play out. So let's not succumb to the overwhelming rumors all around. I hope you also know that for the average Nigerian, we don't believe that there is justice, or we believe that justice for sale in the country. You know that for the average Nigerian. But nonetheless, even between 1999 and now, we have seen some surprising judgments where, contrary to public opinion, thinking that, this will not work fine, and then eventually it came out fine. So let's give the justices the benefit of doubt. Let's allow them deliver. Let's not crucify them for what they have not done yet. The verdict has not been read. So let's not bother our heads about what is being bandied around. Let's hear it being read. And the good thing about this of judgments is when judgments are read or verdicts are given, the reasons why those judgments are read are also listed there. It's not that the verdict will just stand aloof.
Okay.
The explanation for why those verdicts were given will be attached to. And it will also be. I remember I used to say that this is going to be a very educative journey for us. It's going to be there for us to educate ourselves. Also, I'm sure our Lord Justice also know that every judgment they give serves as a precedent. And you could give a judgment and it stabilizes democracy. And again, on the other hand, you can give a judgment and you can cause a serious damage to your democracy. So let's keep fingers crossed to what will come out tomorrow. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, some persons have come out to say that they would never and they can never believe in the tribunal. I've listened to lawyers also tell me that, hey, the way things are in this country as regards judiciary, man, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Let me say 50%, I don't know, but then I believe 40, 50 or 60% of Nigerians don't believe in the judiciary.
Okay, now, let me say also that being from Ondo State and residing in Ondo State, there was this election in 2007 between the late Chief Olusegun Agagu and Chief Olusegun Mimiko, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko.
Okay.
I remember that people overwhelmingly voted for Labour Party at that time. That was the first electoral victory of Labour Party in the history of Nigeria. And Mimiko, who came into the polls at towards the tail end of campaigns, but he had this overwhelming momentum that he took into the polls, and people voted for him. But by the time the results were being read or declared, it was declared that Chief Olusegun Agagu won the election, and then Olusegun Mimiko went to court, and the cases went on and on. I think for almost 2 years or more than 2 years, and people had started getting weary that will this thing work? At that time, PDP was at the end of affairs. The PDP, I mean, at the federal level, and also and so PDP also at the state level. Olusegun Agagu was a former minister, and the rest, and so on and so forth. But the court delivered justice, and the day Dr. Olusegun Mimiko was reinstated, I mean, was given the verdict to become the governor of the state, there was widespread celebration, rejoicing, and the rest. Many people did not believe it could happen. And there have been cases like that in Nigeria's history where people don't believe it could happen. We have seen individuals beat even government in the judiciary. So let's not paint our judiciary as all gloom.
Okay.
You know, yes, we have had individuals beat the federal government even in court. You know that for sure. And we have had people even. Mr. Peter Obi in Anambra State, he also had a court tribunal case that favored him. We've even had Atiku Abubakar win from the courts, win the government of Nigeria from the court severally. So let us have faith in the judiciary. Let us wait till the verdict comes. And again, we must not always play this card that whenever Ijeoma is about to come on without the integrity of the judiciary, but if the judiciary gives a verdict that favors our opinions, we say judiciary is the hope of the common man, is the last of the common man. But when it doesn't favor, no. let's again, on the other hand, maybe for later in this discussion, I would like to talk about the undue pressure that our flawed electoral system is putting on the judiciary, and which is not fair. Judiciary, they didn't ask for this, but we have ultimately put the pressure.
How do you mean undue pressure?
It's undue because, so for instance, our electoral system should have 3 phases. The pre-election phase, where for me, I think we'll be looking at the people who constitute the INEC, the chairman, national chairman of INEC, the electoral commission, national electoral commissioners, the resident electoral commissioners, and the ad hoc staff, the system. This is electronic, their guidelines, those are pre-election issues. How their funding will operate. And when Justice Mohammed Lawal, is the former CJ of Nigeria, was commissioned by President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua to set up, to look into our electioneering process. One of the recommendations they gave was that the judiciary should be involved, should be allowed to appoint the national commissioners of INEC, that they should be the one. The judiciary should be involved in this process, and that funding of the INEC should not come from the executive. It should come directly to guarantee the autonomy and the independence of INEC.
Okay.
And so and then you now come to the election phase proper, which is the second phase. And then once you are past that election phase, because if you don't carry out the pre-election phase properly, it's most likely the second phase will be flawed. The election itself will be flawed. And then part of the recommendations that Justice Mohammed Lawal's committee gave was that before any person is sworn in, all electoral cases must and should have been concluded. These provisions have not been carried out. Now we are putting everything at the step of judiciary. Again, one more thing. If you also realize there are some of the issues today, not just only the Presidential Election Tribunal Court, but even in some state government tribunal courts, where people are talking about NYC certificates, people are talking of whether somebody has an original educational certificate, whether someone went to school or not, or something like that. These issues would have been verified by INEC before the polls began.
All
I
right.
mean, I have come to tender my certificate. What verification process has INEC carried out to ensure that candidates who are not eligible do not even get to run at all? They are disqualified before the election. That way, political parties will put their houses in order to ensure that whoever they are nominating to be candidates are people who will be eligible will fly, because they know the risk, they face a risk of being disqualified entirely from the process. But ours is a system where we allow even people, potentially ineligible people, to run for office, and when they run, we put all of these things at the step of the judiciary. Mind you, they were never involved in all the various processes, the pre-election,
All right.
the election phase.
Yeah.
Now post-election, we now want them to decide the fate with all the pressure. And I must tell you something. One of the most desperate set of human beings we ever have in the world are Nigerian politicians. You must know that. Right before our very eyes in Adamawa, we saw somebody declare another person as governor without a result sheet. He did not do it on his own volition. Political forces moved such person to make that move. If somebody can do it blatantly before the cameras to the whole world, tell me what else cannot happen beyond this? What amount of pressure cannot happen to all of the justices, everyone involved? So, to help our judiciary in the nearest future, this undue pressure and the politicization of their processes, even to keep them from being exposed to undue influences from corruption tendencies, we must reduce this pressure on the judiciary by ensuring that most of these issues that can be trashed out even before the election takes place,
Exactly.
such that by the time the election is holds and we have a very proper system, little or very little cases will get to court, and when they are going to court, they'll be as clear as day. It will just be separating between black and white. It will be clear enough. But where we are now, there's intense pressure on the judiciary, and I think it's undue and unfair.
Okay, undue and unfair. But that is if, we will do the needful. As regards all of the things you just said, we're expecting, those in power to actually take the first and the bold step to put all of these things in place. But that is if they are willing to do this.
Yes. Now,
yes.
So there's a part of constant pressure by CSOs, by political parties involved. I know we have gotten that we have the electoral law we have today. A lot of pressure has been mounted over the years. We must not stop until we have a perfect system, a near perfect system. Yeah.
The military and the police have said they will not condone any unlawful action by lawmakers. Do you think there will be trouble? Some persons are envisaging some level of trouble tomorrow. I think I saw a text message, someone asking me, hey, is it true that people have been asked to stay in their houses tomorrow? And I'm like, come on, that's not true. That's not true. Go about your normal duties, So are you seeing that there's going to be any form of trouble tomorrow?
Yes.
You foresee that coming?
I don't want to foresee something evil.
Okay.
Because nobody benefits when there is chaos, when there is anarchy. Nobody. I'm telling you, nobody. Oftentimes, the victims of anarchy are usually the ones who never thought they would be affected by it. For instance, who believe that the Russia-Ukraine war would have its own toll on Africa, many miles away from the war front. So I want peace, but again, we know the issue of our country. We know how fragile things are now, and so for an average Nigerian, since this thing will be televised, it's wise for you to be where there is a bit of safety. Sit down with your TV set.
Hello?
A good time to be traveling all around, and stay where you are. let's see how what judgment is read, and let's see how the nation reacts to whatever has been read. But we want peace. I also know that all our security agencies will be on red alert, high alert, all across the nation to forestall any breakdown of law and order. I tell you, believe you me, whichever way the judgment flips towards,
Okay.
There will be seriously aggrieved parties. Seriously, whichever way it flips up. And as human beings, we have various
what? Hello?
ways of reacting to disappointments. For some of us, when we are disappointed, we get from our chamber. Are you with me?
Yes, very well. Go ahead,
I
please.
audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Am I audible? Yes.
Very well.
Yes. So when we face disappointment, we withdraw into our chambers, we just relax, we put our head on the bed and we sleep. For some people, when they are disappointed like that, they want to cause mayhem. And it's people like that the society must not allow. Now, whether there will be protest, because of course I always know that the DSS also put a statement out yesterday morning, just after the notice came, the tribunal judgment will be taking place tomorrow. The DSS put a statement that there are plans for violent protest, and I'm wondering what they meant by violent protest. Again, I must say that I'm not very, very happy with how the DSS is operating now in the country. The DSS is supposed to operate covertly, silently, quietly, such that we don't even hear or see them, but we see their effect and their work and their impact. But when the number one intelligence agency, security intelligence agency of the country is coming on social media to tell us that it has also intelligence, and I'm wondering, how is that? How is that a way to? Why don't you come out and say you don't want any protest? Because protest is still a part of our democracy. It's a part of our democracy. The sitting president also had protested at one time or the other. So let's not come and say violent protest. Let's not come and preempt. And that's why it's giving people some feelers that hope is not that the verdict is going one other way, one way or the other. So let's not unnecessarily eat the polity. The security agencies must be on high alert, ready to do what they need to do. No time must whoever deny people the right to protest, as far as they are doing it peacefully. Yeah.
You know, as regards to DSS, we've heard this guy say a whole lot of things in recent times, you know, and, you know, after such statements, nothing happens. I mean, some people even dare them to give them evidence, you know, and then no evidence is produced. But let's just put that aside a little bit. The worry is what, my worry rather, is what Olabode George said, you know, yesterday. You know, he said it will be a shame, you know, if the Presidential Election Petitions Court pronounces anybody as winner of the February the 25 presidential election, it will be a shame if the court pronounces anyone, you know, as the winner of the election, February the 25 election. And I'm asking myself, you know, how? Then hold on, before I bring you in, he went for that to say something. He said, if the judiciary pronounces anybody, you know, president with the shambolic procedure we had during the presidential election in February, it will be a shame on this country. I mean, maybe you should help us understand what, you know, Mr. George is talking about.
Yes, I think I'd seen that news headline this morning where Mr. Bode George was saying that the judiciary now appears now to be deciding who wins elections, and which should not be so. And I know a lot of people have been saying that in recent years, that sometimes like who gets to represent the people in public office now is finally now being decided by the judiciary rather than the people through the polls. And that's why for me, I am particularly worried. I was particularly worried about how INEC handled the electoral process. Yesterday, I was still listening to the statement by Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC National Chairman,
Okay.
Before the election. where he said, we will transmit the result of in real time. And he was saying it emphatically again. INEC cannot undermine itself. We intend to transmit the result of the election in real time so that people can follow up with it. And then we just had an election that was the opposite of that. And it's also a little interesting that particular election that we did, where electoral results were transmitted in real time, showed up a lot of surprises. I mean, the National Assembly elections, a lot of surprises. Established political figures fell. But that particular one, that the presidential election that we refused to transmit the result, we see that there's a lot of contention on it. And so I wish that most of these things are forestalled before. But what he has said is very correct, that now it appears that the judiciary is the one getting involved in who determines. That's why I say we must go back again to the drawing board. And I've also said it. INEC, we must find in that place, use technology, people who understand technology, people who are completely independent.
Okay.
If we need to involve the judiciary again, let's involve the judiciary. Let's review the processes by which people can be nominated as National Electoral Commissioners. Maybe when they are mandated, let's give room for people to oppose who they are, where they are, contest their history and the rest. Let's get people of impeccable character back in the commission again. But again, irrespective of whoever is there, let's put a watertight system. For instance, INEC is telling us now, I don't know the next election, maybe Imo State election or so. INEC is telling us that results will be transmitted in real time. And I'm wondering, what you're saying, how is it different from what you said before the presidential election? How is it different from what you said in the presidential election? So because the process was flawed, it has given room for unnecessary post that have become very, very embittered. And so that's where we are now. But I hope that after all of these things have settled down, we can go back to drawing board and restructure. But again, people who mess up the process, especially in INEC, they must be made to face the full wrath of the law. We must not allow things like this to pass away. The man who did it in Adamawa State, now we have not heard the latest from him. That man must not be allowed to go scot-free, because what he did alone is state on fire. Thank God peace prevailed. If it was maybe in the Arab world where people's emotions run so high, the state will be up in flames before security agencies decide what to do or what not to do. And we can't allow somebody joke with the peace of a lot of people, the properties, the lives of a lot of people, just because he feels that he has an interest in an election. And so we must stop all these shenanigans. People in INEC, especially the ad hoc staff, many people don't know that volunteering for INEC in elections can end you in jail if you do what is wrong. Maybe we just think it's just a dollar just for you to just do it and get the money. No, you can end up in jail if you do what is wrong, if you don't follow the due process. We must make this thing serious again and ensure we prosecute electoral offenders.
Now, let me ask you: are you seeing the possibility of a rerun, or because
an outright decision?
Yes, an outright decision, because now, according to what he said, according to what Bode said, he said the procedure. He said the judiciary should never go that route. He said the procedure is faulty. Go back and do the election again. That's what he is saying. Yeah. Go back and do the election again, and so everyone will be fine. Are you seeing that coming in? I mean, are you seeing are you seeing this whole judgment thing going that route?
I don't see a position where elections will be done again.
You don't?
Again, that is fresh.
Really?
Fresh elections.
Okay.
Fresh elections is different from rerun. Okay, if it's a rerun, then it's another matter entirely. But you say fresh elections, that you didn't do your homework well, INEC go and conduct elections again. There's no room for that under our laws. And so I think the options that could come out is an outright declaration of any of the aggrieved parties as winners, or keeping the status quo, ensuring that the current president is kept there as the president by law, or there is a rerun. And then for me, from my layman point of view, there's a possibility of a rerun. If the FCT question of 25% is allowed to stand, if FCT 25% is a compulsory question, then what it means is that the declared winner of the election did not meet it, and because it did not meet it, then we don't yet have a constitutionally elected president. But if the judges decide compulsory question, that is the only way the status quo can be maintained. So I believe that question of 25% in FCT is a vital one.
Okay.
If the judges say there is nothing about it, I know if you go and check the last interview of Oyeson Wike on one of the national televisions recently, go and listen. Although he was talking of something else, but go and listen to what he said about Abuja again clearly. He was speaking and was alluding to the fact that FCT has a special status. That he is just like a minister or an assistant to the president. That the FCT is directly under the president. And that the National Assembly is effectively the legislative house for the FCT. Now, if you look at our various states here, you will see that the reason why the governors must get to third majority in their states is because they are directly the governors of those states. Now, so if they say the president of Nigeria, people have wondered why FCT is special. FCT is special because FCT's governor, in quotes, for me, is the president. FCT can only pick one senator. Other states can have 3. FCT can only have maybe one house of rep, if I'm correct. Others, or maybe 1 or 2. Other states can have as much as 6. Even some have 10 or even more. And so the president is essentially the lord of FCT, particularly. So, and Ijeoma Egwuatu was saying that as a governor of a state, you can decide what you want to do in your state. But he said, as the minister of FCT, you can't decide. You have to get approval directly from the president. And so that's why I feel that when it comes to presidential election, the special status in that whoever will be the president of Nigeria must meet the 25% requirement. But let's see what the judges did. For me, I feel that is the most important ground in this election. Not even the issue of certificates and the rest and so on, because we have seen some of those things being pushed aside in our political history. But that very provision, it will shake the roots of this nation if we move away from it and we say it doesn't matter. So for me, that is one of the most important grounds in this election. And it's uncharted territory. We have never been at this point before where somebody was declared president without getting 25%. That's never happened before in our history. And so it is a special one. And that's why we're keeping fingers crossed to see what stand the justice will take on it.
So you're not seeing, you're actually seeing the possibility of a rerun, like you mentioned, right?
I believe there's a possibility for a rerun.
Okay, but then what Bode George is saying there is quite different. He said, go back and do the election again. If it's 1 million times, go back and do the election again. There is peace now in Kenya, according to him. He said the Supreme Court told them to conduct the election again. And I am saying, don't you see that actually happening? All right, to give everyone fair judgment. Okay, don't worry. We're not going to announce an outright winner, but then can we just revisit this election thing all over again, so that this time around no one will say, okay, hey, this happened, that happened. Why not redo the election again? Not possibly a rerun, but an outright cancellation of what happened initially.
it's not very likely that happens, because for me, where I felt, who I felt, I mean, when I felt it could have happened was just after the election day, February 25th, when it appeared as if the guidelines and the due process of INEC was already flawed. Elections, maybe there was, when they said there was a glitch, I would have felt okay. They would have just said, oh, let us cancel this election, let's start afresh and then sort out our technical issues, and then we'll have election where results will fly in real time, if truly there were technical glitches on the server. But since we have gone past that, it's never happened. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria where the courts will say, go and organize fresh elections. I don't think so. I don't think so. It will create too much of a disruption. That means that the current president is no longer the president. That means no one presently to be president. That means the position of president and VP in the country is vacant.
Okay.
And that is a very dangerous one. And if you say the presidential election is vacant, everything is flawed, what about National Assembly elections? Are you going to say that they are okay or they are not okay because both held on the same day? Okay. So, but if you look at presidential election, it means that we don't have a president and we don't have a VP. Who will now be president of the country during the time you will run the elections? Will you hand over to the Senate president? Will you talk about of an international government?
No. Hold on. Let me come in here, Mr. Henry. Let me come in here. Now, we all know that it was Peter Obi that won FCT, right?
Yes.
As the Constitution demands. Now,
yes.
Atiku came second, but Peter Obi came third. And it's this same Peter Obi that everyone is saying won the election, allegedly. Saying everyone has been saying that Peter Obi won the election. Now, but he came third. The person who came second did not win Abuja. So some persons are saying that the best thing the court can do is to call for, an outright cancellation of everything that happened. Don't you think so? I mean, you consider them right or wrong?
Yes.
Do you consider that statement right or wrong? Like everything should the previous election should be cancelled and let's have another one all over again.
No, I didn't get where you said that Peter Obi was first in FCT.
Okay. Let me say that again. I said that Peter Obi got the 25 Abuja. Got the 25% vote in Abuja, right?
Yes.
And now, according to the Constitution, he who wins Abuja becomes the president.
Yeah.
Alongside some other states, right?
No, that's not exactly what the Constitution says.
No, hold on. Hello? Are you there?
I'm with you.
All right. If a person wins Abuja, he becomes the president. Alongside some other states. That was what I was saying. I was about to say, right?
Okay.
I want us to analyze this thing very well. Now, this same Peter Obi we're talking about won Abuja. He was the only one who won Abuja. Atiku didn't win Abuja. Tinubu didn't win Abuja. And now, but then this same Peter Obi came third. Atiku came second. Now, how do we now put this one? How do we put this one before the world? Are you going to say the person who came second is nowhere at all, and then you bring Peter Obi to become the first person? I mean, how do you place this?
Thank you very much. Just after the presidential polls, I listened keenly to all of the various people who had the opportunities to come on national television to speak about the elections. And one particular person that came on that I took notice of what he said was the former chairman of Stanbic IPTC. I don't know if you remember his name. ANAP, the head of ANAP Foundation.
Okay.
I can't remember his name now.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah. So and I was on air and he was saying that if you look at ballot sheets, and he brought examples, specimens to the newsroom, and he was showing it that most of the ballot papers that we saw about 2 alterations each, because of the beavers now. There is a limit to how you can compromise the result of an election. Because every voter must have passed through beavers. So what it means that if 50 people voted in this polling unit, the total number of votes in that polling unit must not exceed 50. So take for instance that election has concluded here. Whoever wants to manipulate the result of the election can only take votes from another political party and add to their own and subtract from that political party. So that means that if you must falsify a result sheet, 2 alterations must happen. So what it means is that you're going to increase your own, you are going to reduce another person's own. And there were a lot of these result sheets that we saw flying out, and we saw 2 alterations. Somebody adding a 0 to his own result, somebody taking away from another person. And so when people say that, how will, for instance, the 3rd position candidate, how will he be 3rd? How will he be expecting that all the way from 3rd to be reinstated as number 1? No, it doesn't hold water. If it's just by this analogy I have given, what it means is that if his vote was taken from him, and that's what he's alleging, and that's what Peter Obi is alleging in court, that his vote was taken from him and was given to the winner of the election, the declared winner of the election. That is what he's alleging. One of the points he's alleging in the court. And so he has a point. But whether our Lord Justices will see it as valid is another ball game entirely. But what Bode George is saying about fresh elections, it cannot happen. There is no place for it in our law. But I've had people say recently, and it's more I count it as more of bear parlor talk. They say, Peter Obi is not contesting he won the election. He's not contesting it. They say Atiku also is not contesting the one election. These people did not read their petitions. Peter Obi, among other things, is seeking for the disqualification of the declared winner for sundry issues like certificates and criminal records from his petition. He is also alluding that he listed some states, almost 10 states in the country, where he said that the results were inflated. He was the only one who brought ballot sheets to the presidential electoral petition tribunal. He brought them in their droves. Yes, he alleged that over 18,000 ballot papers were blood that was uploaded on INEC server were blood. And I want to believe that those 18,000, because everybody has a copy, all political parties have a copy of these result sheets, including INEC, including police. And he is bringing his own copy of the 18,000 polling units allegedly that were blood. And saying, see, if INEC cannot show us result sheets that are clear, these are our own result sheets. So let nobody just come and say he's not saying he won. He is saying he won the election. He even said it on TV. Atiku is keenly contesting that this man, that is the declared winner in HT, and is keenly contesting that he should be disqualified. Peter Obi is combining all the options, including the double nomination of the VP. So these are issues, and that's why it's a very interesting case. I would love to see, because it's not a case you can just deliver as simple. It's not simple. It's not simple. It's something I would like to see how the justice would navigate all of these things. And what is most interesting is by the time all of these things were being documented, evidences were being brought out, the APC and the APC and the lawyers of Tinubu were objecting to it. Even INEC was objecting. They were objecting. And then the judges overruled them. Are you with me, Mr. Jude? The justices overruled them. The justice overruled them and told them that they will give their response in their final address. Now, after all this has been said and done, after all this has been said and done, we now have a case now. We are now at the point of verdict. Now, whether the justices or whoever the justices will decide to claim as the winner. I also want to know that APC also, Bola Tinubu also, they only invited just one witness to the court, and that's Senator Michael Olabamidele. That was the only witness that was invited. I thought that it would come with a plethora of witnesses to disprove and discredit the evidences of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and Labour Party, Peter Obi. But we didn't have that. Their defense was relatively straightforward. So anybody who comes here and says there's no case, there is serious case. And that's why I'm very, very interested as a student of history, as a political student, to see what verdict will be read tomorrow, what reasons will be given tomorrow. I want you to know something. What the state we are in this electoral case is never happened in history. We are in uncharted territory, as far as I'm concerned. Somebody say there was the electoral cases in 2019. This is a different one. If you want to know what I'm saying, this is a very different one. This is a keenly contested election. The most keenly contested in the history of the country. So for me, it's interesting. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
Your reactions as regards what Bode said, is what beats my imagination. Bode said, if the PEPC announces anybody as winner, then democracy in Nigeria will be redefined as government of the judiciary, for the judiciary and by the judiciary. And he's saying that is not democracy.
Yes, I understand him, but I said it's not fair to put it now on the. When we're doing all the other phases of the electoral system, the pre-election phase, the election proper, we didn't involve them. Now that everything, we have not found an headway. Now we are now bringing everything to their doorstep and expecting them to work wonders, work magic. The judges can only speak within the boundaries of the evidences and the things that have been brought to them. They can't do more than has been brought to them.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want us to now start. There is an INEC that refuses to follow the guidelines. What is talking about INEC? So please, let's just let's not put it as that, as the judiciary. No. The judiciary, as far as I'm concerned, are having to clear up the mess of INEC. Now, whether they do it properly is another ballgame. But you can't be saying that the person who picked the last button, the last man in a relay race, is at fault for losing, when the first, second, and third had slacked all along. So the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. But let's see what happens tomorrow. But you cannot say that the judiciary is determining. It's not their fault. We have allowed it to become an affair of the judiciary until we go back to the drawing board to re-amend our constitution to make it possible such that less issues will surface after election.
Some Nigerians have expressed optimism that the PDP would clinch victory tomorrow. What is your opinion?
Now, on the idea of the PDP clinching victory, for me it's dicey, because if I look at even the final of the APC, and one of the parts that interested me most there was that the APC said, if I told there will be a rerun in the final address, they said if I told there will be a rerun, that they will prefer a rerun with PDP, because that they were first,
of course,
and PDP was second.
Not LP.
Whichever way, that's why I felt that
not LP at all.
Very, very strong. Yes, because they said that PDP is second. And so in the Yoruba dialect, they say that when trees fall upon each other, it is the first one that you take off. You don't start from the bottom. And
Okay.
so, if before you decide that number 1 and number 2 should go for a rerun, if number 3 is saying that he was cheated, that some of his votes were given to somebody else, you consider what number 3 has said before and check whether there's any credible credibility to what he has said before you now decide who is qualified to go for the rerun. Thank you.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I'm here with Henry Olonimoyo. He's talking to us from the capital city of Ondo State. That is Akure. My name is Jude. It can be Jude. If it's your first time joining us, I want to say welcome. And this is Voice of the People, and it matters on this dial. We're discussing all the matters. Yeah, just right here. That's what we do every weekday from 1 p.m. up until 3 p.m. Okay? All that matters in the country. And there is a big one coming tomorrow, the Judgment Day. A very, very big one for you, me, and for everyone. Everyone. But then, for some, Atiku will come out victorious. Some, they feel Peter Obi is the way to go. And for some, Asiwaju has come to stay. Please, talk to us about these 3 people. Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I didn't get the last part of that statement.
I said for some, Atiku will come out victorious. For some, Peter Obi is just the way to go. If not Peter Obi, then no one else. Then for some other persons, well, Asiwaju has come to stay. We should just take it the way it is.
I want to get maybe asking that where do I stand on this when
exactly your stand, your own take on that.
Yes. Yeah, where I stand on it is this, and I've never for once hidden the fact that going into the election, I was particularly in support of Mr. Peter Obi as president. But again, these are legal issues and they are not emotional issues. There's no emotion in law. You have to present your case, present your facts, present your strong points. And so it remains to be seen. Whatever verdict the judges give tomorrow, there will surely be aggrieved parties. If you say Tinubu should continue, PDP and Labour Party will not be happy. If you say PDP should continue, should take the step, some people will be aggrieved. But most importantly, I sue for peace. There must be peace in the land. We want anarchy. We don't want war. And then there is the option of the Supreme Court for aggrieved parties. And then whatever happens after, if people want to protest peacefully, let them protest peacefully. But let them also know that there is still the opportunity of a Supreme Court option waiting for them. And let's just give peace a chance. That's what I want for the country. And let's hope that we don't set a negative precedence tomorrow for our justice system in Nigeria.
When you say negative precedence, I wonder why you said that, because there's been these all eyes on the judiciary even before now. I mean, it's been sounding out loud, ringing out loud. It's been, in the lips of on the lips of every Nigerian, and you can't rule that out. There is still all eyes on the judiciary. I mean, all eyes are still on the judiciary.
And I don't know why anybody should be threatened by the statement "all eyes on the judiciary." I mean, I want to believe that APC is putting all eyes on the judiciary. PDP is putting all eyes on the judiciary. Labour Party is putting all eyes on the judiciary. Even APM, that has his own case to be read tomorrow, is putting all eyes on the judiciary. So why is anybody threatened by the statement "all eyes on the judiciary"? That's a very harmless statement. He's trying to say everybody is watching out for what the judiciary will do. And so why nobody should be threatened by that? Nobody will see it. Nobody will see it as an attempt to blackmail the judiciary. It's just us saying that we understand the seriousness of the matter, and we will be monitoring everything that will be done. And rightfully, the judiciary has told us that don't bother to come to the court. It will be televised live. And so that judiciary is also saying that We know all lies will be on us, so we have decided to put ourselves before all lies. That's what he's saying. It's a televised lies. And so all lies really is on the judiciary. And not only just Nigerian eyes, all over the world. Everybody will be monitoring to see what the appeal court judgment will be. But it's exciting times. Whichever way it goes, it's exciting times because it will set a serious precedence. I hope it is for the good for our nation.
The special advisor, to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, said that President Bola Tinubu is not worried at all about the outcome of the judgment of the court. In his word, he said the president is not worried simply because he knows he won the election. I don't know how you want to react to this, actually.
No, all politicians, we claim to tell us they are not worried. But you and I know that the most worried people are politicians. That's why they always leave no stone unturned in ensuring that when the things they want happen, they want to be double sure for everything they are involved in. So I won't believe I'm not worried. Everybody is worried. All camps, political camps are calm. They want to look at what will happen. At least we have had the president give an address to the judiciary and say that they have to be very careful with whatever they do or with what judgment they make, that they should not give judgments that will subvert democracy. We have had the president say that. So if he's not worried, why will he mention the judiciary in his speech? Okay. So all parties are particularly conscious of what will come out from the case. I don't want to believe I just think the politicians are just trying to act bullish if they are trying to say that they're not worried.
But are you trying to say that all parties are worried?
Yes, worried, not negatively, particularly.
Okay.
Are concerned. They want to know what will happen. At least we have seen people being in the court a couple of times. We've seen Representative of Atiku Abubakar also in the court a couple of times. We have seen the High and Mighty from APC in the courts also. So tell me why anybody will not be concerned with that. This is something that can decide who stays in power or who leaves power. So why are they not worried? Politicians are worried by power any day, anytime. So don't let anybody tell us they are not worried. When the common man self is worried, why would they not be worried? So let's leave it that way. But let's see what eventually comes out of. And interestingly, it appears that the president will not even be around. It appears that he has gone for the United Nations summit in India, and that he will not be around. But I'm sure he will keenly following proceedings happening at home. So it's an interesting one. Let's keep fingers crossed.
And some people will ask you. So it doesn't matter whether he's around or not.
It doesn't matter.
Don't you think it's a big day in Nigeria? The president should be around.
But he has because there can be no vacuum in governance. He has important state matters to attend to, and governance is a continuum. It has to happen, even if the court case might not be in his favor tomorrow. He must still be carrying out state duties till the very last minute. And then if the court says he should remain in power, he will carry on with his job. We don't want governance to stop. For instance, since February 25, workers have been getting salaries as sanctioned by the executive. So imagine if there's no president to sanction the payment. What will happen? Are you saying workers will not get their salaries? Government will continue now. Government must continue at all costs. So let him go for what is important in the interest of the nation. But I'm sure he'll be monitoring what is happening in Abuja and the FCT.
Voice of the
like
people.
Everybody else.
Okay. VOP 90.3 FM. Don't worry. I would take your calls as quickly as possible. Okay. Just pardon me a little. But then, Mr. Henry, let's just go on a very, very short break and we'll come back quickly. And then I take your final thoughts before I start taking calls. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so very much. VOP 90.3 FM. Just a very short break. I'll be right back.
You see, when you look at the West, Europe and the US and all that, you come to find out that the leadership there are people whose values are different from what we have here. The leaders are not thinking of owning properties all over the world. Go to Dubai, buying like primitive acquisition. They'll buy houses in Dubai, buy in UK, buy in the US, buy in the Caribbean. It's a cost. If you go to their houses, you see not less than 20 to 30 vehicles, and they enjoy it. They like moving in convoy of not less than 20, 30 vehicles at a time, so that they will be the people that are calling the shots. In US, if you are a governor of, let me give you an instance, like California, which is the richest state in US. You as a governor, if you dare put on convoy, you will not stay more than 24 hours in that office as governor of US, of California. You cannot. I gave you an instance the other time that in 2005, I went to eat in a restaurant. The governor of Texas drove in. He came alone. I didn't even know him. It was my late friend who took me out that was telling me that this man is the governor of Texas. If it were in Nigeria, they would drive away everybody in that restaurant. Or convoy with escort, police, DSS, military, everybody would have gone down the whole of the restaurant. Try it in America. The next day you are gone. And you may go to prison for even trying that. Who are you as a governor in the US for you to take a private jet? What they are doing here, this scam they are doing here and calling themselves governors. You dare not. If you try it, you will pay through you tell them where you're going to get the money from to go and charter a jet. You enter the commercial jet and sit like every other person. Nobody cares. Nobody will be accompanying you to airport, clearing everywhere. People will be carrying bags. No. It's terrible. I landed in JFK 216. I was in the business class with one of the governors. He queued over there and he behaved himself. He cannot jump the queue. If he jumps the queue, he may end up not even entering US. They'll put him on the next flight and take him back to Nigeria. And there's nothing he can do. These are areas where they have sanity. These are areas that are welfare oriented, in as much as they're having hard times now because of the prevailing global economic situation. There's no madness in being in leadership or being in position of authority. They don't steal the way we are doing here. One man will own maybe 40 or 50 properties in FCT because he has entered the political position in the government. It is a terrible thing. It is worrisome and it is...
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Well, this is Matters, and in case you're just tuning in, I want to say welcome. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude. And so you should know, the Nigerian Labour Congress has vowed to ground the economy, as it says that the stage is set, for a 2-day nationwide warning strike in response to the severe economic hardships plaguing the nation on the aftermath of subsidy removal by the federal government. All right, just you should know that. And situation in Abuja, some government ministries, departments and agencies in Abuja are currently shut in solidarity with the 2-day nationwide strike declared by the Nigerian Labour Congress. Okay, more information now. The National Association of Nigerian Students has warned the Department of State Services not to deter students from exercising their rights to protest, saying this is a universally recognized human right. Okay, and the Nigerian Labour Congress vowed to ground the economy. As it says, the stage is set. So very set. They will do everything possible to make sure that they drive, their demands home. But how it will go is what we don't know after the 2-day warning strike. It's a big one here in Nigeria this time around. And for some persons feel it might not even favor the ruling party. Like this strike thing might be against, the ruling party as regards the, tomorrow's judgment. But then we don't know. Let's just see how things unfold. This is VOP 90.3 FM. A whole lot of information here that I've got for you. But then, hey, permit me to open up the studio lines and let's start. Let's start taking your calls right now. Don't forget, if you're watching live on YouTube, get to the comment section and drop a comment for me, or you can also send your message via WhatsApp. If you want to join us via YouTube, just go to the search bar and type VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube and drop a comment. Or WhatsApp number is 0700, that is 0700, okay? Yeah, 0700 903 9039. That's the WhatsApp number. Again, 0700 903 9039. But then if you want to call in quickly, you just call 0700 903 903 903. Again, 0700 903 903 903. And if you are calling, make sure you keep it 60 seconds. Just hit it, pam, 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 and that's it. Okay? Yeah. We don't have the enough time to give you much more than 60 seconds. So we can have as many people, we can have several participation, as many as we can get before we wrap up the show. Okay? Yeah. Let's see how many calls we're able to take before we wrap up. Again, the number is 0700 903 903 903. Keep your comments very civil, the way I always preach it. Keep it very, very civil. And if you want to call, please first of all endeavor to move away from your radio set. Move away from your radio set, or just turn down the volume of that radio so we can actually hear each other. Okay? What I need is that phone and not the radio set. Can we do that this afternoon? Thank you so very much. All right, let's get to the phone lines quickly. And hey, messages are coming in though. Just keep sending in your messages. Thank you so very much. Thank you and thank you and thank you again. All right, maybe we start from here, right? And start taking your calls. Yeah, I think we should start from here. Or should I start reading your messages first of all? No, let's see some of the comments we have first of all, then we know how to go about it. Or okay, you win. Let's start from the calls. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. Thank you so very much. Hello, good afternoon to you this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jide.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
It's Emeka from Ejibo.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, greetings to the true son of the soil.
All right.
When you speak the truth, you free your mind. Whether somebody makes it or not, it doesn't care, it doesn't matter. All we needed is to do that. And he said, so I thank that so much.
Yeah.
Mr. Jide, tomorrow is the day that the whole Nigeria will showcase themselves to the world. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So to the world that whether we are among the human race or not. And tomorrow, what comes out of tomorrow is what people will give us all over the world, wherever you find yourself. We did a lecture which other small countries in Africa did that is looking up to us. And especially very, very amicable. Nobody hearing their mouth. But Mr. Yakubu failed to do his work and ended everything up at court. Now we are looking at them to check and whatever they give tomorrow as a day shows them that giving the babies are. And because they are internal, that is our willingness. If we do the right thing, the world will start seeing us as the right people. But if we keep on doing the wrong thing, my brother, that is the country. I'm not wishing the country to party. I'm not wishing the country. But the image will protect tomorrow. Will guide everybody. This mind kind of image we are projecting tomorrow. That's what I have for them. May God bless you. And may God also to give us a good justice tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Good judgment tomorrow. It's just a couple of hours from now. Just a couple of hours. Few hours from now. And we are there. We're just there. Okay? It's okay. Let's just see how it all plays out. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, this is Joseph from VI.
Okay.
Yes. In short, I really appreciate your girl. In short, it's the man that everybody needs to believe on. He spoke very well. Very appreciate him. That is what I want to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you too. 0700 903 903 903. All right. Just don't worry. Keep your messages coming in and we'll do justice to it. Okay. Good afternoon to you. Hello. Oh, okay. Let me also start reading messages now. This person says, while Nigerian eyes are focused on judiciary, can they also watch the politicians do abracadabra with looting the treasury and the calamity created with the system of governance? Okay. Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah. I'm calling from Dr. Moon.
Welcome.
Yeah. You are doing a good work. All your analysis is correct, but we don't know what the judiciary will do tomorrow. So I'm looking up to them to save Nigeria from the situation we are now. It should help us all. Because there's tension in the land.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so very much. 0700 903 903 903. Please just to keep your comments civil. I'll see how many calls I can take before I wrap up. I promise. Presidential tribunal case. Judiciary have to do the needful and give the people justice. And on DSS issuing a warning against any breakdown of law and order, they also have to respect people's rights and never try to intimidate the people for whatever gains, because it will not augur well. Chika Bende from Trade Fair. Bende, right? Am I right with that? Okay, thank you anyway. From Trade Fair, okay, Lagos. Thank you. Good afternoon to you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. This is Bright Asemota. I'm calling from Italy.
Welcome, Bright.
Yeah, I just want to make my quick submission. You see, a lot of people have been, submitting that we should focus on the judiciary. We have to respect them. Nobody can blackmail them because it is as if we don't respect our constitution as a country and so forth, so on. But let us go back to the genesis of all these problems, because you cannot solve a problem when you don't solve it from the source. Now everybody is kind of saying, oh, we should be respectful, we should have to be, let everybody be kind of constructive, because we have to, just listen to what the judiciary have to verdict tomorrow. But the source, the beginning, we all saw all what happened before the election. Even not during the election, before the election, we saw how some people couldn't get their voter card. We saw in some states that some voter cards were found in the forest by hunters. And we had an institution who are responsible for those voter cards. And we have a judiciary system that did not persecute, even the executive branch of the government. Nobody has been prosecuted. Nobody has been held responsible during those protests of people getting their PVC. We also saw the way people were, stranded from not participating to get their PVC. You understand? And now we came to the elections. People went out to vote. Some were beaten blue-black. Some people were killed. A lot happened. And at the end, the result was, not what the masses, wanted. You can see even from your broadcast that majority of the people calling, if you want to do a vote, of let us do a kind of just a simple vote, you will see that majority of the people calling on your program ever since this issue has started, everybody, if you do the calculation, it's like you do a total calculation of people who wanted a change and people who support the current government. You will see that majority of the people who caused you are not in accordance with the government on hand and we have today. So it already gives you a scale of preference that the system, something is wrong. Then now we are talking of, we have to wait for the verdict. How are we not solving what happened before the election? Because very soon we are going to have another election at our door. Are you not going to tell me as a voter, if I'm going tomorrow, I should go with something in my pocket to defend my vote? Because nobody is talking about this. Because if tomorrow you say, okay, the verdict have gone like this, and the people are not satisfied with the verdict, then tomorrow I need to come and say we should go and vote. If we not act as the talk, if we not decide to act as talk, make people not to vote, or their vote not to be counted, what is the government going to tell the voters at that time? Because we cannot be fooled twice, my brother. We have to talk
It's
about the
okay.
source.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to you this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ikamijide. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. This is AY from Ram.
All right.
It's so lovely to talk to you. My people will say, Oti Dojo and sing. You know what that means, sir? Yeah, we there now.
Okay.
The Nigerian judiciary tomorrow, they will finally, prove me right, and that I've been saying that this is not a country, therefore the constitution is just a is a novel. So tomorrow they will prove me right, and I'm very happy, Mr. Ikamijide. The Bible says something. You can't continue to put new wine, in an old vessel. The reason why you don't do that is that old leather expand. You cannot continue to violate your own rules, violate your own laws, violate your own constitution, and you want to propagate the country. It's not possible, sir. It's not possible. The reason why I said they will prove me right is they will find an excuse and they will throw out the case. Because if you explain to me, sir, they said he won, right? Okay, let's agree he won, right? Let's agree he won. Okay, come to court. We want to see we want to see the numbers, INEC. We want to see the numbers. Do you know what INEC did, sir? They photocopied blank paper, stamped it, gave it to the political parties, and said that's the result. And and the political parties brought those documents to court. And do you know what INEC did? INEC denied their own documents. Is that not a charade, Mr. Ikamiju? Is that not a joke to everybody? Is that not to tell you that they are not taking this seriously? Listen, I don't expect any magic tomorrow. It's just the aftermath that we pray for. We just the aftermath. So let's all pray, like Nigerians. Let's all pray. Have a good day, Mr. Ikamiju.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for calling. Thank you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for picking my call.
Good afternoon and welcome.
My name is Remy. I'm calling from London.
All right.
You see, I don't know if you guys in the media are doing this deliberately. You have refused to, not just you, nearly all of you, you've refused to remind the people on what transpired during that election when Tinubu told people, go and steal it, take it, run away with it. When MC Oluoma came out and instructed people to attack electorate. Look, peace is the only way to run every society, but the existence of peace can only be determined by justice. Those who run our institutions must understand that trust is important. They must earn the people's trust. If the people don't, if you don't earn the people's trust, may God forbid what will come out of that. Secondly, when they preach patience, patience can be preached in two dimensions. One dimension is be patient. You will soon be free from your problem. The second dimension is be patient. You will soon get used to your hardship. You will get used to your deal. Now, NLC is going on strike. DSS is trying to stop them. We must understand one thing, that people's ability to sustain their life and livelihood is dependent on peace and stability. When they came about with these laws, with this policy, they didn't even consider the ability of people to live. Look, bro, person way hungry they catch, no they get sense. You need food to power your brain. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you so very much for calling. I appreciate that. Okay, let's read more messages quickly. Let's see how many we can cover. Mr. Timothy from Surulere says, democracy is good, but African politicians are full of selfishness, enrichment of themselves, not willing to give dividends of democracy to the citizens at all levels. Okay, thank you so very much. We can't change our electoral system and stand on it. We are not ready to have democracy. Joy from Austria sent in that message. Okay, let's see more now. This one is saying Nigeria is under attack by some spiritual forces. Okay, let's see. It's okay. Okay, let's leave that for now. Okay, please just keep your comments civil, okay, so I can get to read it out. All right. He's wahala, man. Just take it easy. Just take it easy. I beg you. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to Mr. Dide.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
This Tony from Chicago. I didn't see you yesterday.
Yeah. I wasn't around yesterday. I didn't come on air yesterday.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
what's your name?
My own take. Yes, I'm good. My own take is this. I think the judiciary will do a good job tomorrow.
You think?
I believe so.
You believe?
Why? Yes. What is going on along the African coast now? If we check, about 4 of their coups that happened came out from election. Those judiciary people we are talking about, they know if there's any problem, they will not be saved. A big man fears of tomorrow, of the hungry people. I think they will do, the best thing for them to do is for the rerun election. I think they will not pronounce tomorrow. Just take it from me, they will not pronounce anybody winner tomorrow. They will not allow Nigerians to go back to election and see. A lot of issues is at stake. When you look at the issue 25%, when you look at the issue at the results, a lot of issue is at stake, whereby the best thing to do is for them to pronounce a rerun. And I believe APC is really a bit aware of such things. For them to ever say they are the people that first talk about rerun, let them have rerun with the PDP. For them to ever pronounce that means that probably they have an intake what might go, that's going to be the worst they will get. But I don't think the judiciary will pronounce anybody tomorrow, because if they did that, anywhere it goes, it might be a problem in the country, and they will not like that by themselves.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's my take.
Thank you so very much for talking to me. All right. Charles from Ikotun, he said, I don't trust the judiciary. If Tinubu continue, how did you say that one now? Is that one not too strong to read? It's too strong now. Comrade Peterson says there is no shortcut to justice. Nigeria at the moment is sitting on a cage of, you want to say on a keg of gunpowder. And if the judiciary did not do justice to these matter, I pity this country. They said that the test of pudding is in eating. And by that, Nigeria has seen so, or by what Nigeria has seen so far in 100 days of this government, there is no headway. One cannot give what he or she does not have. A building built on a faulty foundation can never stand. In summary, make sure that you do not partake in this injustice going on in Nigeria, because the anger of God is imminent and will wipe off these evil men. Thank you. I believe a winner other than Tinubu will be declared tomorrow. Don't we hear about how potent the APM petition is at disqualifying Mr. Tinubu? Okay. We'll get to find out more. If Nigeria did not want army to take over this nation, no. Army is not going to take over. Come on, just come on. Let judiciary do the right thing tomorrow. And I'm telling you now, don't ever bring the idea of conducting new election. It's not possible, because we know the right person. Even the president himself said he knew he did not win the election. This is my first time of sending message in this platform. And what is your name? Did you add your name to it? You did not. But thank you so very much for sending that. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, Judy.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mr. Amade, calling from Ejibo. First of all, thank you, that man that from Ondo.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, we are into problem in the sense that over 200 million people decided whom to rule them, and it's narrowed down to 5 people now to judge. That's a big problem. If you watch from onset, this man called to say he's going to fight dirty into this issue. And I'm just telling you today that Nigeria is ready because we have the area, Omo, and the other things to watch that nakedness from APC and him and the Mahmoud. May God help us to come out from this situation.
Thank you.
We see a situation where if they did judgment, you see the sadness of the Nigeria everywhere. And if they give a good judgment, you see where everybody will be blessing. That's what I want to ask. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Ngwogo, right? Am I right with that pronunciation? Is saying from Ibadan State, he's saying tomorrow we are hoping that the judgment will be good. Ifeanyi, yeah, that's his name. Good afternoon, Voice of the People. This is Malo Motaiwo from Isheri. We need the good government in our country. NLC should do the needful because Nigeria is suffering so very much. Indeed. Okay. Let's see if we can read more. For me, let the judiciary give us our mandate. Simple, bright, from Satellite Town. Sent in that one. I believe nothing will change tomorrow. Ayodele Mary has indirectly said it through his statement. Through her statement. Okay. Let's see how it all goes. Why Nigeria? Nigeria is practicing... it's okay. Judiciary is the body that determines who rules. This is so bad for a country like Nigeria. Tomorrow's judgment will define how good our judiciary, all eyes on the world. Well, it's okay. Thank you so very much. Just make it brief for me, okay? Just make it brief so I can get to read it out as quickly as possible. There's a saying that if justice is delayed in a king's palace, that means that the rich man is guilty. But we are watching from heaven. Uche. Okay. Thank you so very much. All right. Can I take one more call and I wrap things up?
Hello, Kami, good afternoon.
Oh.
Thank you for that. Ben from Eva.
Mr. Ben, just few seconds, please. Check your time. It's almost 3 p.m.
What I'm advising people not to make any noise, to make cause trouble tomorrow, no matter where it doesn't go.
Okay.
What is our constitution,
okay.
Not the judiciary.
All right.
So that's
thank you.
Plan ahead. When we have opportunity, we should change the constitution.
All right.
So thank you so much. We should take it.
Thank you.
Whatever we will not destroy ourselves. We will not destroy our country.
Thank you.
Let us put my head.
All
the problem is the constitution.
Thank you.
We will fix it. God bless you for picking my call.
Thank you. VOP 90.3 FM. I have to go. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude. On Facebook or Instagram, or I am Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. One word. IKAMIJUDEH. I love you so much. I will be here tomorrow for this big thing. Okay? I'll be here between 1 and 3 p.m. again tomorrow. Thank you so very much again. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out of here. Good afternoon.
Dear valued listeners, we believe in free speech, but with freedom comes responsibility.